Welcome back to another episode of Communicate with Nate. That's right. Thank you so much for being back here with me today. It is my greatest pleasure to talk to you about something that is close to my heart because I've spent a lot of time of my life in the Philippines. And it's one of my favorite countries. It is one of my homes. And so I love the Philippines. And I would like to talk about a subject called Philippine English. What is Philippine English? That's what we're going to talk about today. Like and subscribe if you want me to continue to make videos about different varieties of English around the world. It's a subject that I love. And let me know if it sounds interesting to you. But today we're taking a closer look at Philippine English. Philippine English is a fascinating dialect of English that is spoken by over 100 million people in the Philippines. It's a unique blend of American English and Filipino languages with its own distinct grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. Now, you might be wondering, how did this dialect of English come about? Well, the Philippines was a former colony of the United States. Did you know that? Write it down below if you did. Because it was a colony, it led to the widespread adoption of English as a major language and a major part of daily life in the Philippines. Over time, the Filipino languages were infused with words from English, also created its own hybrid dialect called Philippine English. It's a dialect in its own right, fully respectable dialect of the English language. It's a regional dialect. So one of the most notable features of Philippine English is the use of the local language. Whatever the local language is, that is generally infused into the English by many people. So you might hear like, I'm going to take a break, instead of like, magpapahinga ako. You know, they're just different things. You might hear someone say like in Cebuano, I know nga moari siya ugma. So like, I know he will come tomorrow. So it's kind of interesting. Everyone speaks at least some words of English, up to being completely seeming like from the United States. Quite a few people are like that. There are many different levels of English in the Philippines. So when we say Philippine English, it's actually not only one type. I mean, there are several varieties. You have call center English.
There was never boring moments with answering calls because I take different types of calls every day, and I learned that not all customers are the same. I've been trained to be on top of every situation, whether it's a good call or a bad call, and I make sure that I provide the best customer service possible.
You have provincial English. These are different accents of the language.
Our programs such as Libro para sa Batang Bangsamoro, where we provide books for kids in conflict-afflicted areas in Mindanao.
We want to promote the habit of reading for the school children in conflict-afflicted areas.
You have Manila English.
How are you? Happy birthday, and I wish you're happy on your birthday, and I wish this video greeting makes you happy.
You have Cebu English. There are regional Englishes.
I'm a Filipino Cebuano native speaker, so if you're the person that wants to learn or to speak the languages like Bisaya, Tagalog, or even in English, then I'd really like to help you with that.
One aspect of Philippine English is the pronunciation of certain consonants, slightly different than American English, such as, you know, the TH, the. It can be pronounced as, that's right, da. Okay, so da man, for example. And these are not all varieties of Philippine English, I have to note, have these changes, but these are some of the general ones found in a lot of people. So you might also hear the V be pronounced as B as in boy, like Victor, Victor. These are just differences. And, you know, Irish English also often pronounces tha as da. These are things that are found throughout the world, and each one is valid in its own right, and each one is a respectable dialect of the English language. There are also some words in Philippine English, such as hilig. It's definitely part of the English language there. That means like you have like butterflies in your stomach. It's just this, one of those beautiful words that gets adopted into the language. So in closing, Philippine English was brought in the early 20th century by the Americans to the country, which was they were previously using Spanish. And of course, the most important languages are the local languages: Tagalog, Cebuano, WARAY, ILOCANO, HILIGAYNON, MAGUINDANAON. They're all important. TAUSUG, DIBABAWON, Tiboli, the IFUGAO. All of these languages and language groups, BICOLANO, these are all very, very important and a major part of the Philippines. The English language is important there, but let us never forget the importance of the local languages in these places. Philippine English is great because it makes it easy for people to communicate with Filipinos. At the same time, we always want to protect the local languages. Those are very, very important. I love Philippine languages. I actually speak 3 Philippine languages. Let me know in the comments if you speak any of these: Tagalog, Cebuano, Hiligaynon. Now, I speak Cebuano the most because I've mostly lived in places that speak Cebuano. I also learned Tagalog quite a bit from watching movies, just listening to it and seeing a lot of writing online. That has helped as well. And then Hiligaynon, I just love the sound of it. It sounds like they're singing. Daw nagakanta sila. The Cebuanos, I remember them saying something like, "Ang mga Ilonggo murag malipayon bisag masuko." And the Ilonggos, they say, "Daw naakig ang mga Cebuano kon malipayon." Yeah, you get the picture. So they love saying the Cebuanos supposedly sound angry even when they're happy, and the Ilonggos basically sound happy even when they're angry. And so these are really cool languages. They're Austronesian languages. I love the Austronesian language family. That's also like Indonesian, Hawaiian, Malagasy, Maori. These are all related languages. So I love those languages as well. You know, Javanese, they're really cool. Let me know in the comments below if you want to learn more about Philippine English. Philippine English is really interesting. It's a subject worth studying. See you guys later.